The Cork Dorks with Adam Montiel and Jeremy West, live from the California Mid-State Fair.
Adam and Jeremy, we are thrilled to be hanging out with Pacific Wine Services, learning all about that custom crush life. We got a hibiscus wine in the glass. Never has anything ever come across us like this. We did try one at the Liquid Lunch.
Yes.
You brought it back. I don't think Jeremy was here, so Jeremy,
this is the first
Jeremy
time
didn't
I've
get a
had
chance to try it. But the hibiscus wine is different. And I'm curious because it's like, I mean, you're not fermenting hibiscus. What are you steeping it? Like, how are you making a hibiscus wine?
That's correct. We are steeping it. It is just basically we ferment the sugar and water and do like a white wine fermentation basically, and then when it's finished, we then put the hibiscus flower in, steep it, get the color, get the flavor extraction, and that's what it is. I mean it's
a Jolly
little sweet.
It's a watermelon Jolly Rancher,
really
like
is.
pink. Like that's the color of it.
That's a great
when
way
it
to put
comes
it.
out. And it's a real interesting nose. You get the hibiscus in there, and then you taste it, and it doesn't smell like it's going to be sweet, but it's got this nice sweetness. But it's not over the top either.
No. It's low alcohol, has some nice sugar, has a good balance to
great
it.
dessert wine.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, after you have like a big fatty ribeye or something cooked with a bunch of butter and garlic, then this would be kind of nice to come in after that.
There you go.
Could you imagine if they made the frosés with this?
That might be real interesting.
I know. We might be onto something over there.
Yes, you got to talk to Allie over
Hey,
at
well,
15C because I know she's
we can
making
do it.
these rosés. These rosés don't come in a can.
Get
or a
that
pouch.
contract.
They're all from scratch. Look at this. They do a great charcuterie plate here at 15C. They also do a great pizza, and probably the best pizza on the fairgrounds.
Oh, easily. I got to get one of those again.
They're
Even to take home, they're so
it's
good.
solid, man. They've got a great game going on over there. And if you've been to 15C and had the food, you know. If you haven't, then you need to do that. Main Street in Templeton. So Pacific Wine Services, they're a custom crush facility. And what Brandon does is he makes wines for a lot of people. So what is the story behind this? Did somebody come into you and say they wanted to do this?
Yeah, so we got approached. We've put our ads out there about we can do pretty much anything when it comes wine related.
Somebody said, all right, I got a challenge
someone
for you.
said, okay, well, let's see what you can do. Yeah, exactly.
So this is your first hibiscus, I'm taking
Correct.
it? You did a pretty
is.
good job. I've never had any others, but it tastes great.
I mean, so basically it was a whole formula that had to get approved by the TTB, so the tobacco and, the government agency over wine. And they said you have to follow these strict guidelines.
So they tell your customer who is having you make it, almost like, commissioning you to make this.
Correct.
They say, hey, the TTB approved this formula.
Correct.
And you're going to take this, basically a recipe, and go to town. Do you have some landscape if perhaps you want to tweak it for, tasteable quality? You have a little bit of parameters, or is it like...
I mean, the general formula...
Don't worry, the TTB doesn't listen to this broadcast.
No, okay, all right. Well, the general formula is something that we just had to follow. But once that was followed, the end product we could tweak with maybe a little acid add, kind of brighten it up a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Maybe add a little more sugar if that's what the client wanted.
Was the client happy?
The client loved it.
Great. That's what it's about, baby.
Yeah, so he's all excited. He came in while we were bottling it, and he really is gung-ho about
Is it
doing
hard?
it.
Is it hard to have something like that happen and you not get all the credit for it?
No, not at all. I mean, I'm not here to say, look at me.
I know, but if there's never been a hibiscus wine in the world, this man or woman gets to say they did it. When we all know behind the scenes, this is all Brandon.
Well, I can enjoy that. I can enjoy that on myself. But actually, the guy that made this wine, he actually wants to promote that Pacific Wine Services made the wine, that I was the winemaker for it. So it's not one of those like, oh, you do it, but I'm taking all the credit for it. But honestly,
even if they want to, it's all good.
Yeah, we know that we made the wine. We don't need any more validation from it at all.
Yeah.
So we don't need to be the one out there saying, hey, no, we're the ones that did this.
And he's humble, Jeremy.
Yes, very. Probably one of the more humble guys we've met, which is great. I mean, but at the same time, everybody seems to be humble here.
Yes.
So we're talking about Pacific Wine Services. Brandon's the winemaker, and of course, that's the main thing, what you're doing there. But talk about some of the other stuff that Pacific Wine Services does.
So, I mean, it all comes down to the crush services. I mean, we offer everything from AP contracts, so you can be your own AP, say it was produced and bottled by you at our facility. But we also do just offer the custom crush option. So where it's then made by us, we offer storage. We have a little bit of case storage, not too much. But we do everything from fruit intake to bottling of your wine. We will take care of it through the monthly analysis and do everything we need to. And that's kind of all we have really right now.
Does anybody really like say, you know what, I've got a place to store the barrels? Or does everything get stored with you guys?
Well, there are some clients that they have their facility and they make the wine, but they don't have the room to make the wine and have the equipment for it. So they make it with us, and then they take their barrels when they're finished. And
I'm taking my barrel and I'm going home.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you and good day.
And then how does that work for topping and stuff like that? Do you have to go to them and do it, or do they usually do that on their own?
No, once they leave our facility, I mean, unless there's some other arrangement that's made,
right,
it's on
done.
them. Yeah. But if it's at our facility, we do it monthly. We take samples, we run SO2 and VA samples, and we make adjustments. We let you know what it is. We do topping.
Your bottling schedule must be crazy. I mean, you got all these different 30 clients or something
well,
like that?
we actually just got done with the largest bottling, I believe, in Pacific Wine Services history.
Do you have a line or use a truck?
We call in slow bottling. So it's another company that has the truck that will do it for us. But we just did 5,000 cases between probably 37, 38 different lots.
Wow.
So every lot, is either 1,000 gallons or 60 gallons.
I'm just amazed that the way you deal with, let's say you have 30, 40 different clients, you're literally dealing with 30, 40 different unique situations, because you could have like one client, which may be a custom, it could be like a, consulting winemaker who's got like a Jeremy Leffert who's got a client that says, hey, we're making, XYZ over there. I want you to punch it down this, that, the other, da-da-da-da. And then you could have someone who doesn't know anything, just like, hey, make me the best bottle of wine. Like, just do what you do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of fun, because then it allows me to kind of play around a little bit. I mean, obviously I'm going to do what is best in the client's interest. But there's so many different things that you can do, different yeast you can use, nutrients, pump over techniques that can give a wine a different characteristic to it. And that's the fun part, when someone just says, hey, here's my grapes, make me a wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, wine comes in all about the same time.
Yeah.
And, we're going to get it out of tank into barrel about the same time. But then some guy comes in and says, make me a hibiscus wine. And that's got to throw a curveball into things.
Yeah, so this was a complete, luckily it was in the off season. And so we had all our tanks open, and he just said, I want to do this. So we started with a small batch, and then it turned into that he wants to make 1,300 gallons of it.
That's Brandon Carlisle. He's the winemaker, Pacific Wine Services. What do we got in the glass now?
So what we have here is, this is one of our clients. It's Penman Springs. This is their 2018 Aglianico, which actually just won in the Central Coast Wine Competition Best of Class for other Italian varietal.
Oh, nice.
And they actually did pretty well. A lot of double golds. And so this is... Carl is one of the easiest guys to work with. He's always on it with his vineyard. He brings us the fruit, says, all right, this is what I'm looking for. Here's my barrels. This is my program.
Starting to see Aglianico.
So he knows his own program,
more. Yeah, we're starting to see this a little bit more, this variety. And then, there's other Italian varieties as well. And I feel like we're starting to find out that Italian varieties do very well here as well. Like, we already knew the Rhones and the Bordeaux did really well here. And, the Spanish wines are fantastic here as well. But now we're starting to see Italians really starting to blossom a little bit.
Yeah, it's actually kind of amazing. This is actually the first year that I've ever dealt with Aglianico. Obviously,
How do you research this? You Google this? What do you do?
Yeah, honestly. That's the great thing about nowadays.
But thank God he knew his program, right?
Oh,
because,
yeah.
yes, you obviously want to know more about it. What can I expect? But here, he wasn't like, here's, 3 tons of Aglianico. I need you to go make me a double gold.
Don't go crazy on this.
Yeah, make me some best in class Aglianico.
Yeah, no.
So then you get to go, oh, okay, so maybe this is maybe he's got, I want to see what he's into, and let's look at and see what this is about.
Yeah.
And you learn, oh, sure, that's a great way to produce it.
Yeah, so it's honestly, Carl does everything in the vineyard and picks it at the right time, does everything correctly, and then brings it to me. He doesn't ask me to say, oh, you have to use this, this, or this. that is something that I get to do with his wine. And this is just proves that what, you never played with it before, but you can make something using a different protocol in some way.
Let's do a pairing with this right now. I mean, Italians, they love to use truffles. We got this great truffle salami here that is sitting down in front of us.
I haven't tried it.
I just did it.
That's
it's great. Call. It's a good one because truffles, it offers all that earthiness to it. Algonico has some fruit behind it, and it actually turns out pretty well. So if you remember how you do your pairing, you take a drink and then you swallow, and then you take a piece of meat, chew it up, you throw the wine in there with it, put it together, put it down, and then finish with one more sip.
Let's keep going back and
and
forth.
Fun little pairing there, right?
Yeah, that's actually really good.
All right, we're here with Brandon Carlisle. He's the winemaker, Pacific Wine Services. Check him out online, pacificwineservices.com. We're here at the California Mid-State Fair. It's Jeremy and Adam. We got more coming up.